Welcome back to room 202. I'm Corbin Johnson.
And I'm Roman Bolin. And today, guys, we have a twofer on this fine Mother's Day that we're recording. Our first guest is a biker boy, a milk drinker, a wigwam Willie himself, Seth Gingrich, everybody.
How's it going, guys?
Seth Gingrich.
Our second guest is a Syrian savant, my best friend since we were 10, and a gamer gal, Jake West, everyone.
Good day.
When you're bored and have nothing to do, come on down to 202.
Of course. Gentlemen, how are we?
Fantastic.
Doing well.
Anything new?
Uh,
Tell us, Jake. I know what you got going on.
just about things in general.
Just, what's new? I know what, you have a special event coming up here at the end of the month.
My menstrual period.
Oh.
Starting a new job.
He's gonna be fucking fighting fires. He's gonna be driving that truck.
I'll be posted in the trenches.
Digging the trenches.
He's gonna be posted in the trenches, bro. And Seth, you're just, hunter-gatherer.
Hunter-gatherer. I actually got a new job recently as well. Two new jobs. I'm working two right now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I'm right now.
Yeah.
They're both bike shop jobs. One of them's kind of like a non-for-profit shop. It's called the Boise Bike Project.
Oh yeah, that's where I got my bike.
We do a lot of like donations, and we also sell bikes for really cheap. And people come in, drop off their old used bikes that they've had for a long time and stuff like that, and we kind of renovate them, give them back to the community.
Hell yeah.
So it's really rewarding. The other one's just this other bike shop called Bikes and Beans. It's like a cafe.
My neighbor owns that place.
Yeah, I know, for real. Yeah, you guys' neighbor owns that place. Andrew, yeah. Yeah, no,
Shout out,
it's
bro.
pretty cool though. It's not as laid back as BBP is, but yeah, they need help right now.
Right.
Their beans are pretty.
They need some churning.
They need some. Their beans need some roasting.
Dude.
Beans there, from what I hear.
Yeah, no.
Some under-roasted beans, I'll tell you what. So, we usually have our guests start out with a story, and I didn't preemptively tell you guys, but I know that there's one story you two share in common that I'd love to hear about, and it's about this guy that you guys always see driving around town. I'll be driving with you two, and you guys will be like, Seth, it's him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it all started out back when I had my very first truck, which was a really shitty GMC Sierra, 93
Long bed,
two-tone brown and navy blue. It was just awful.
It was a cold winter day.
Oh yeah. So it was a cold winter day, snow fresh on the ground. Me and Jake were like, dude, let's go fuck around in the GMC. We'll go drift around in the Optimus parking lot, which is this parking lot we have. It's big. There's no concrete barriers or anything. You can just kind of fuck around.
Basically a place to missile your whip.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Missile your whip.
But that's about it, though. Anyways, there was this one guy when we pulled up in the parking lot, and he was completely stuck. He had this shitty little shitbox truck, and he had this dog in his passenger seat, and he comes out and he's like, "Hey guys, you mind giving me a push or a tow out of here? I'm kind of stuck." I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, and so we didn't have anything to pull him with. And
Right.
my truck's 2-wheel drive in the snow. And I'm like, how the hell do we expect to get him out? So we literally ram into the
But here's the thing, though. He's like, you guys got a piece of cardboard we could separate the vehicles with? It's like we're both driving absolute garbage cans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Also, what would a fucking cardboard box do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. And we had a sled in the back of the car, one of those foam ones, And
Uh-huh.
so we put that between the bumpers, and I tried to push his truck from behind, and it didn't do anything at all. Me and Jake gave up, and he's like, "Well, you mind dropping me off over at a friend's house?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna do that for you."
So just down the road, please.
Dude, and he came off really creepy and weird, and so, but now
His name is Steve, by the way.
his name's Steve. But now me and Jake literally see him on a weekly basis. I swear I see him at least 2 or 3 times a week.
He kind of hangs around that area still. I see him at that new park by Shadow Hills, just playing with his dog, frolicking in the flowers.
He's
He'll be-
California.
Yeah,
How
he has
old is he?
California plates, so I don't know how he
Hey guys.
Hey, we're in the middle of a show, you red piece of shit.
You can't have a quick guess.
Everybody, we haven't had him on yet, but it's the Broden Jackson.
Everyone, give Broden this applause.
Oh, stop. I'm blushing right here.
Oh, blushing.
Me and Broden watched Zodiac for the second time last
That's
night.
a good
It's a good
topic.
fucking movie. Well, we'll talk about that when you're on.
Yes, we were
It's a
talking
nice
about that.
flask.
Speaking of Zodiac, you guys rep that?
Your zodiac sign?
Your Zodiac sign? Do you guys believe in
Fuck.
that? Do you guys believe in that?
Heavy.
No.
No, because I've been in situations where like.
She's such a Gemini.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, seriously, like I've been in situations. So I recently got a tattoo. Well, not recently, but like a couple months ago, I got a tattoo, and I was showing it to someone like, oh my god, that's such a Scorpio thing to do. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's a tattoo.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's such a Scorpio. That's what it is. I don't understand how people can think that like when you're born dictates your personality.
Oh no, and it's crazy. Like your zodiac sign, your what is it called? Your not prediction, but
Star sign?
Oh, horoscope?
yeah, your horoscope. It's always the most like
Generic.
generic,
Yeah.
broad,
Like it can apply to anybody.
anyone, and then people take it to heart. Like, oh my god, yes, I was having a bad week.
Yeah.
like 2 months ago.
It's like today
but-
you will have positive emotion number 4.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, oh my
I
God,
am.
I kind of am happy right
I
now.
am a little hungry. It's like, fuck off.
I can eat. I can eat.
And then they're like, she's really nice, but she's a Scorpio.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh my god, she's a Gemini. We would never get along.
We could never get along.
I'm an Aquarius. I don't know what that means. Can anyone fill me in?
I think that means that
you're like a dolphin.
you get wet easy.
That would explain so much.
I'm a Libra.
Oh,
And
bro,
so-
I'm taking out his ice block.
I'm
For real.
yeah, you piece of shit.
Just leaving blocks
Fucking
of
Broden
ice.
left a whole block of ice on the counter last night. Now the floor's soaked.
Sam was like,
I like those shorts.
Thank you.
They have little flamingos on them.
Yeah, for our viewers, I can't tell. They have little flamingos.
Yeah, and they're brown.
Anyways,
For our viewers, you just want to take over the show, you piece of shit. Just kidding. Fucking. Oh man, we got some great topics for you guys here. Obviously, we're gonna talk about. I'm sorry.
I can't read the script.
No, I'm just kidding. No. So we're gonna. So I'd like to ask you guys about biking.
go for it.
I'm what the ladies like to call a pussy. And I used to jump the curb on my bike in like elementary school, and then I knocked my front 2 teeth
I
out,
remember that.
and I was like, I'm good.
Damn.
So I mean, it was my fault. But,
No, totally.
But I'm not the
I
kind.
remember that.
I'm not good with injury. I know people like scrape themselves off, but if I get injured doing something, I'm like probably won't do it again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'd like to ask both of you. You can answer at the same time or whatever. But when did you start, and like in why? The who, what, when, where, why of this whole
Oh
deal?
man.
I've been riding bikes like shit forever. So it all started because like behind my backyard there was like this big empty field, and so we started building like, little bike jumps and stuff back there, and it kind of escalated to this whole bike track, punk track thing, and so that kind of got me started on it. And then from there, the Eagle Bike Park's only like 5 minutes from our house, and that's just full of jumps and any trails, anything you can imagine. And so like it just was natural to want to ride a bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents kind of pushed me into it. Like so actually how it all started, I got introduced to the Eagle Bike Park by Chance Grissom.
Hey.
Yeah, and I remember he would like go around and skate there, and like I remember I got injured a lot when I was a kid, and so like there was a second where I took like probably a 2 or 3 year like kind of break, you know. I would still go ride around like the Greenbelt and stuff with the fam and everything, but it was like I kind of just took a break because I was too scared that I was just gonna like end up fucking myself over again. And then actually like I didn't really have like a good riding partner either, and so that's kind of like another big thing is you always want to have like a good solid buddy to go ride with. And so when Jake me and Jake met through driver's ed kind of.
Yeah.
Well, we knew each other before that, but we met through driver's ed, and so after driver's ed we were kind of like, dude, we should start riding. And so then me and Jake kind of
Mountain bike club.
Yeah, exactly, mountain bike club, and me and Jake was kind of the one who motivated me to get back into it, and then we started just progressing.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
we started mountain bike club at River Glen.
Oh,
with-
okay.
With Senor McKinney.
Yeah, I was gonna say with Senior McKinney.
Yeah.
Andrew Wallace, vice
Drew
president.
Wallace, vice president.
No, president.
He was president?
Yeah, he was president. I remember he had to start it because he got in trouble. He's like, yeah, I have to make a club.
Good work.
What's new?
Yeah.
So,
Love Drew.
I want to ask about like your worst crashes. I know you've had gnarly ones. I'll see you like once every 3 weeks in like some kind of like full body sling.
Yeah, dude.
And I know you've wrecked, but I don't know that you've had anything real bad.
I've seen Jake wreck pretty fucking hard before.
Oh, maybe that when I got my pee slope
Yeah.
and I died.
Yeah, so there's like, I think we measured it out one time. I think Kardashian back in its prime was like 30 feet long, like when it was.
So Kardashian's like the reason it's called Kardashian is because it's a hip jump. It's a big hip. Kim Kardashian's got a big
Right.
hip.
Yeah.
And so that means like the takeoff is straightforward, but the landing is curved like this.
Mm.
So
Oh,
you gotta,
okay.
You gotta like jump it sideways. Kind
Right.
Of.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
And so, yeah, it was around like 30 feet. And so we would always hit it on like the sketchiest bikes. Like back when we didn't really have like nice, decent bikes. I remember Jake was on like your hardtail at the time.
Eastern.
Yeah, and yeah, no, Jake, take it from here.
Fucking, so I'm hitting all the jumps on this shitty bike, and then I finally buy a nice bike. And the first day I got it, I'm hitting this. I hit Kardashian, and did I overshoot it or case
You
it?
cased it.
I
Came
came
up
up
short.
way too short and like hit the landing and just went over the bars right onto my face and shoulder.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And
Do you have a
that
helmet
was
on?
probably my. Yeah, I have a helmet on.
Alright.
Always ride with the helmet. Always
Yeah.
ride with the helmet. Always, always, always.
So, like, what do you guys get out of it? Like, what's your favorite part about it? Is it you get that fucking?
I didn't get to talk about my worst crash.
Oh yeah, wait.
Oh,
quick.
oh, I'm
Seth's risk crash.
I didn't want to hear it. No, go ahead. Sorry, I
Oh,
wasn't.
dude. Have you been there for
The worst one.
for like any bad ones? You think? I don't know. I've broken. There was a pretty bad one where it was a pretty easy set of jumps. It was like this set of 6 jumps, like tabletop jumps. They're not even gaps or anything.
Mhm.
And I was like going into it. I was cooking. I was going pretty quick.
Mhm.
And I
Momentum.
barely, kind of jumped over the first one and like got more speed out of it. And I hit the second one and just like launched it. Just gave her the beans. And like fucking, I go and I'm nose diving hella. And I'm like, there's no way I'm coming out of this. And like usually if you're nose diving, you can either lean back and ride out of it, maybe. Or you can like ditch your bike. I'm like, fuck it, I'm riding out of this. And so, and midway through it, I'm like, okay, well, I shouldn't have done that. And I like hit my I land and on my front wheel, and it just smacks me right into the fucking ground. Like I just like rotated over it, and I put my arm out to like help brace it, and like my arm just completely snapped. My arm just completely broke. I dislocated it and I broke it.
Fucking.
And it looked like some fucking rainbow shit. It was like curved and it was so long.
So-
gross.
You had like a wheelchair and a scooter in junior high. I remember for a long time.
Yeah.
What was that?
So that was a snowboarding accident where I
Oh,
broke
okay.
both my tibia and fibia in my left leg, and that sucked really bad. Like just being on a scooter and in a wheelchair is so like it makes you like incapable to do so much shit. And so it was just kind of annoying, but
You got good at wheelies.
got good at wheelies. I got
Really?
good at wheelchair wheelies.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it.
That's a fucking absolute
Shit show.
It's
Yeah.
a shit show.
Yeah, no, my parents probably are gonna resent me my entire life for how many medical bills I've racked up.
like on your like mother's deathbed. She's like, yeah, I never really liked you
Yeah,
because of all this all the
yeah,
money.
I'm gonna
We're
say
in
this
debt.
right now, like kind of like fuck you.
Just real quick, preliminary thing. Could you go grab a piece of paper?
Good.
Thank you, Corbin.
Big shout out to Corbin right
Big
now.
shout out to
for
Corbin. Get that
sharing
paper. Get that
About
paper.
this paper.
Oh, this is a little game we're gonna play later. Don't you even worry. We haven't played this since the first episode,
Okay.
so
This is a
I'm
cool
excited. This is historic, monumental. I stand here humbly. I'm sitting, but
So I'm not really proud of it, but I'm a vape consumer.
Okay.
I'm not very proud of it.
In fact, I think all of us are vape consumers.
Yeah,
I'm a vape moocher.
Same. That's yeah.
That's Anyways, I thought about it today, and I'm like, I just wonder how much money I've altogether that I've spent on vape products,
I know.
and like it kind of disgusts me. And I'm kind of like, what the fuck?
I've spent I bought a mod when that was cool.
I remember.
Which just chucks the golden boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was the Voopoo
dude,
drag.
It straight up.
It ch-
That thing filled the room.
My brother stole it, but we're not gonna get into
He
that.
stole it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at that shithead's house.
He who shall not.
Yeah. Yeah. And I spent like $115 on it with everything included, with juice and everything. But
I gotta say though, that lemonade hits.
dude, he's got this lemonade zero.
It's nice. I've been a Breeze boy for the past 8 months. A proud Aspire Breeze consumer, a part of the Breeze family. And I kind of went back on my word today. I really did. And I bought a, what the?
They say never go against the family, but
Reznov Zero.
oh,
Reznov.
freedom for you, Mason.
Not for me.
Fucking. So I don't even know how to lead into this, so I'm just gonna say it. Seth, you party. Come on.
I mean, I like to get out on weekends.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
It's like, no, I like to.
But I think that
Sure.
one thing that you
Yeah,
do that I don't do as much is you take some risks with ones that you attend. You're like, you know what, this might be a banger, this might be fat, this might be crazy, someone might die, and I want to be there for it.
Yeah.
Would I be correct in that and assuming that?
Absolutely. I've been in some sticky situations.
So
that-
you don't have to say anything you don't want to say, but I'd like to hear about some sticky parties that you've been to.
fuck, dude. There's been some weird ones, like weird. I remember back in, honestly, my party going prime was probably my junior year in high school. And I remember we would go out to Caldwell for some parties. Like every weekend, we would party hop, and we would just go to like random parties out in like Nampa, Caldwell, and they can be kind of sketchy.
For those of you who don't know, Caldwell and Nampa. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure
Shit.
everyone who listens to this podcast is in Idaho, but for future reference, it's the Boondocks.
It's kind of a shitty place.
It's
Yeah.
butt fuck Egypt.
Yeah.
And so I remember we went to this one party, and it was this rundown shitbox house. And there was cars literally as far as the eye could see. and we go and we're walking up to the house, and I'm like 3 blocks away, and I can clearly hear this party. And like I get probably a block away, and it just smells like dank. And I'm like, hey, this is interesting. And I walk into the party. I'm with Nathan Donaldson and a couple other people. And the first thing that they say is like, all right, guys, yeah, the party's over to the left. We got a DJ, but if you guys want to do like coke or meth, the bathroom's over to the left. And we're like, me and him like both peeked over to the left to see who was in the fucking bathroom, and that was full of people. And I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
And I'm like,
They're doing that in the bathroom.
yeah, and like, we're like, they had a guest bedroom too that they were doing it in, apparently.
Damn.
What if you
And-
use the bathroom?
And so
I know. So there's a guy shitting in there.
we obviously took a right, and we go like there's this little dance floor. Everyone's having a good time in the kitchen, pouring drinks, you know, doing deeds. And I remember Ebony started a fight. This one girl, she started a fight in the house with this other girl, and they took it to the ground. And
That's
they were like,
fucking sick.
they were pounding the shit out of each other, and it was just insane.
She's always in a fight.
And then all of a sudden, these guys step in, and they're like beating the shit out of the girls.
No.
And I'm like, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I need to get out of here. All of a sudden, shots are getting popped off
way.
like guns
Damn.
in the house, like
At who?
shooting through the ceiling.
Like
Yeah, like bop bop. Yeah, you know.
No.
Yeah, just like that, literally. And me and Nathan look at each other, and I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. And like, so I was by the door. I was the first one out of the house, which there was like a good 5-second delay of me being out before everyone. And I'm like, how come people aren't pouring out of this house?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like, people just come flooding out of the house. This guy runs out of the house with a mailbox. A mailbox, throws it through a car windshield that's parked right outside of the house, and takes off. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Anarchy.
Yeah, it was just an absolute shit show. And so like, that was probably the wackest party I've ever been to.
That's
and just because
insane.
of all the shit that was going down and that was happening, and like all the weird shit I saw. Like when you go out there, there's just like a different type of like breed of human. It's just kind of gross. But Yeah, no, that was good. Me and Jake actually went to a pretty good one yesterday with a coworker, and they had a keg there, and we were kind of drinking. We were actually in a badminton tournament.
Mm.
We were in the bracket.
Mm.
Still disappointed at our loss.
Yeah, no, we didn't take her home. The neighbors cut it short, but we also did take the L right at the gate.
Their loser 2-year-old hit a sleep or something.
Yeah.
Get him in the game. Get him on the
Yeah,
keg.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
get him on the keg.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Well, Corbin,
Yeah.
I want to hear from you. What I feel like I've done most parties with you, but is there anything that comes to mind?
Nothing like crazy like that.
Yeah,
but
that's out of here.
I think
Yeah,
a
that's wild.
weird one was like that age where like we just started partying, so we're like scrounging to go anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and we
Totally.
fucking we went to this trailer park, and it was me, just a bunch of white people.
Right.
Pretty much. But we show up to this like Mexican like trailer, and like it was just Coronas and like your typical like Mexican.
Delos.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Or Locos.
and
Old
then like
lines dried out on the counter.
and then
Yeah,
like adults like because we were still in high school and we were like it's like hell yeah we're having a good time, and then like adults start showing up like grown men and shit, and we're just like, oh, what the hell's going on? But then like they start playing Mexican music, and it was just like 4 white people just chilling in this like Mexican's house, and all these Mexicans. It was crazy, but that was a fun night.
That was. I have a story with me and Jake. It was me, Jake, and our good friend Venom Parker.
Parker fucking Vale.
We went out. I think it was in Caldwell. Remember this?
Oh yeah.
We were driving around like all night. We get fucking out into Caldwell, and it's like these nice houses, And we're walking up the street, and we see like just hordes of people like running to their car.
Hundreds of people in the streets.
Hundreds. It looked like Mardi Gras. And the owner of the house walks up to him and goes, so, "The bitch neighbor called the cops. The party's over. Sorry, guys." We're like, okay. So we're walking. We're turning around to leave, and there's these two like cliques. There's like a bunch of dudes behind one guy and a bunch of dudes behind another guy. They're face to face. Like, let's fucking throw down right now, Holmes. Let's fucking throw down. He's like, "I'll shoot you." He goes, "I'll shoot you right now." And Parker goes, "Let's get out of here." So me and Parker are like running, and Jake's like, "I wanted to watch."
Like, what the fuck happened?
I know.
Dude, I've also had another weird, really weird, like a party experience.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Eagle parties, those are kind of like, yeah,
Shit.
cool.
Yeah.
And it's just like nice houses, weird people.
Right.
Yeah, like they're really cliquey. Like every
Mhm.
time I've gone to an Eagle party, it's like people in like their groups. People walk into the house like, "Ew, who the fuck's that?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like that type of party. And so I remember, regrettably, I had a cigarette that night. Not regrettably.
Okay.
And I was under the influence, and I was outside with a couple of friends, and we were sharing cigs, the whole shebang. And this random guy comes up, and he's like, "Hey guys," he's like, "Can you smoke these inside?" He's
I
like,
was
"Sorry."
there.
He's like, "Sorry,
I
I just."
remember this.
Yeah, he's like, "Sorry, I just don't want like my neighbors to find out that we have people here." And
Mm.
I'm like,
Smoke a
I'm
cigarette
like,
inside.
literally, I'm like, yeah. And so
In this nice mansion.
I have morals.
Yeah.
I have morals.
I have morals.
This is a nice
respectable
house.
man.
This is a nice house, and like out of respect for the people who live there and the people in the party, I don't want to stink it up with cigs. But
Mm.
like, fuck it, I'm gonna go in here and smoke this cig down inside of this house
Right.
because fuck the people inside.
Uh-huh.
And so I remember I was just like sitting there like watching it slowly burn down. Like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I remember I didn't even get all the way done because I felt so bad, and I just put it out. Like, I'm not gonna smoke a cigarette inside of this house.
Yeah, that shit stank.
Yeah, that'll like leave your house smelling like cigarettes for
Permanently.
a long time.
I remember me and Jake were talking about this gentleman just the other day. But I don't want to say his name. I don't want to say his last name. Orion.
Okay.
And his house, it wasn't super cigarette-y, but it was very piss-y.
Pissy. Mm-hmm.
It smelled like piss all the time. And all kinds of piss. So,
Yeah,
That piss
it
stinks.
smelled like cat piss. There was like 3 dogs in there.
one of them was blind and deaf.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! At that point, if I was ever blind and deaf, guys, at the same time, I'd want you to kill me. Like honestly, like just sneak up on me. That wouldn't be very hard.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
walk in my front door.
You
sit
could
in the
literally
door,
be
and you'd
stomping.
sneaking up
You'd
on me.
just be like staring at the wall like.
Yeah, no.
Just tears.
Yeah.
I wonder if I would still be able to like speak and shit.
You're like.
I think Helen Keller was like,
She wrote a book.
Yeah, well, she.
How though? See,
Yeah.
that's the type of shit where I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's just like crazy what people are capable of doing.
Wasn't she like crucial in the development of Braille?
I think so.
I
I
think-
think that sounds right.
Sounds right.
Uh
Probably made her read a basketball or some shit.
huh. Oh fuck.
Read a basketball.
Fucking.
Her
Okay,
first book
okay.
was printed on a basketball. I heard.
Oh really?
No, I don't know.
I remember the party we went to in Eagle that one time, and someone peed in their closet.
Oh no.
Corbin, I fucking swear. Okay. I have a story to tell. So we go to this house in Eagle, massive house, a mansion, and they're a huge U of I family. So you know they drink, and I know they're a huge U of I family because their driveway had a huge insignia of the University of Idaho symbol. It was massive.
That's dedication.
That's dedication. It was in the concrete. It wasn't even paint. It was like made out of brick.
You think they were like rushing up there when they went to when they were going to college? Like, yeah, man, Delta City.
Delta Sig.
Yeah.
They had well, every person in that family went to U of I.
So I imagine.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So we.
Except for one who went to BSU and he's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Oh really? I didn't even know
The
that.
black.
Oh okay. The black.
I'm going to CWI.
So the owner of the house was really nice. I don't even remember his name, but I don't even remember how we heard about it. It was during the summer. It was the main Java group, and we just pulled up to this house, and we don't know anyone. Sienna knows a few people from when she used to go to Eagle High School.
I think it was her sister Sophia.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we didn't know anyone. It's packed. So it was fun as fuck because we're just like meeting random people and getting drunk and hanging out. So at one point in the night, I have to pee really bad. So I go upstairs to the bathroom, and there's fucking in the bathroom.
Oh.
It's like, you know what I mean? And so I was like, you know, standing outside the door. It's like, if they come out here and I'm just standing outside the door doing the piss dance, this is gonna be a really awkward situation. So I was like, and I wasn't like drunk or anything, but I was enough to where I was like, let's make a bad decision. So I was like, fuck these rich people. Oh my god, they have so much money. And I went in their closet, and they had 3 ceiling. It was a walk-in closet with 3 ceiling-high shelves filled with Gucci travel bags,
No.
like to the ceiling, and they're all covered in plastic.
You should have got one.
I don't know how I would have snuck out with one. Also, I'll get there. So I'm like, all right, pissing in the dark in this closet, not sure where I'm pissing.
Oh.
They had 2 huge Saint Bernards, and they were like old. So I was like,
Was it like a full bladder type of piss?
dude, it was like the largest piss puddle that you could imagine.
In the
Oh
carpet?
my god.
No, it
dude.
was a hardwood floor.
Oh my, that's even okay.
It's a little better, but not much.
Not hardly.
And so I was like, they'll think it's the dog, whatever. So I fucking leave out of there, and I go downstairs and I walk up to Corbin. I'm like, dude, I just pissed in our closet. And Corbin's like, why did you do that? And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I felt bad, and when the bathroom was empty, I went in and grabbed a towel off the rack and threw it on the floor where the piss was. But before that, I was like, guys, come upstairs. And all 8 of us fools are in this closet staring at my piss puddle while laughing. I was like, hey! So I threw the towel down. And here's the kicker. There's an individual who got soft that night, but he had driven. And I got a ride with someone else who wasn't drunk. And he was like crying because he was so drunk that he's blacked out. He doesn't remember any of this when I talked about it to him later. But I was like, fuck, I have to stay with him. So
And
we
it's
walk
stick.
inside, and the owner of the house is fucked up. It's like, hey man, he can't drive, and I'm not gonna leave him here. It's like, can we spend the night? He's like, yeah man, no problem. So then me and this person spend the next 3 hours exploring this person's house and just going through their shit. And we find this like hidden box in the garage
No.
just full of like ammunition and like rare World War II like fucking Mauser pistols and shit like that.
No.
Like weird shit.
That's sick.
It was fucking dope. So we end up like spending the night. We wake up in the morning and we go home, whatever. So fucking that's pretty much it. Well, there was a point where I met someone who was a friend of his, and I think it was either you or Sienna in front of him was like, remember when you pissed in that dude's closet? And his friend went, you better not have. And I was like,
It was not me. Guys, I know that we all have gone to this before, and I think we need to bring it up on podcast. Blocktober.
Oh my god, that was madness.
I don't think I was.
So-
Okay, you need to hear the story.
So
Corbin.
there was a Halloween party, and it was in. So my girlfriend now she lives in the same apartment as the one that we were in, which is
Really?
the Vista downtown.
Right.
And on Halloween, was it Halloween or the day before?
It was like the day before.
Something like that, yeah. There was this big party that was made publicly aware on Instagram, Snapchat,
Yep.
literally
They
everywhere.
hyped the shit out of it.
They hyped the shit, and it was called
Ugh.
Blocktober. And I remember, like, under it was like all ages welcome. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And I'm like, what kind of party is this gonna be? And I remember it said like no weapons, no alcohol, like no nothing. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Right.
Like that's absolute bullshit.
Right, that's gonna happen.
You know why they
right.
put that on there?
Yeah,
Look
exactly.
at they named it Glocktober.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I know what this is.
Uh-huh.
And so it's up in this penthouse, kind of like party deck, in the Vista. And I remember it was booming. I remember we all pulled up.
We pulled up, and so it's like a. I think do you rent out that floor
I
for
think you
events?
can. I think you can.
Okay, because it's like a balcony and then like a
Oh.
dance floor.
That
Yeah.
would fucking explain a lot.
Right.
I was like, how the hell do they live here?
Right. It was
Yeah.
nice if it were apartment.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
And we go in, and it's just booming. Like, there is literally all walks of life in this thing.
Seriously.
And I remember, like, there was these SoundCloud rappers who were doing their performance or whatever, and it was kind of lit. Not gonna lie, it was kind of lit.
It was pretty lit.
Until they all started screaming to shut the fuck up because
Oh.
everyone was so fucking loud. And, like, I definitely know the entire apartment was probably shaking.
So that's
Mhm.
what's crazy is like it was so fucking loud. There had to be like 80 people, if not more,
In this little,
in
like,
this little area. There was a balcony area where people were just passing around
Yeah,
joints
there's
and
even more.
blunts.
There's probably like 150 people.
I remember there were so many people there. I remember
Probably.
seeing kids that were fucking sophomores when we were in seniors there.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that we
yeah,
saw that kid from
yeah.
our PE class?
Yeah, literally. It was
So
crazy.
it was nuts. And so they're like, shut the fuck up. I felt like I was in a Twilight Zone because they said shut the fuck up at least 450 times.
Because
and no
the
one-
cops were coming.
The cops were on their way.
and they
So
wanted to quiet everybody down.
we see lights outside.
Yeah. So we see lights outside, and we're like, "Ooh, okay."
We're on the second floor.
I'm like, "We'll just let the officials handle this," because there's people in the lobby like
Fighting.
No,
That's why the cops were showing
I know,
up.
but there was people in the lobby checking IDs, like, and they were ready to talk to the police in
Uh-huh.
case the police came. They were gonna calm them down, send them the other way.
Mhm.
You know. All of a sudden, fights are going down in the lobby. The police are knocking down the fucking door to the apartment.
Yeah.
Everyone's scattering. Everyone's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah, it was
And it was
insanity.
just a mad rush. There's 2 exits. Just kids flooding through the
Yeah.
doors. I remember me and Jake, we cut left, went out the balcony, and we lost Roman and JT. JT and Roman.
I forgot JT was there.
Yeah, JT
JT
and
was
we were
fucked
all
up.
on edibles.
Yeah, we were all on edibles. We were all fucked up. We were all kind of
Crazy.
tipsy. And I remember me and Jake cut left. Roman and JT gone. We were like, whatever, fuck it. We need to get out
I
of
wasn't
here.
even with JT.
Every man for themselves.
Yeah, every man for themselves at that point.
I don't know how JT got out.
And so me and Jake, we were running down the stairs. We were probably the last ones down the stairwell. And we're like running down. We're like, oh, let's get the fuck out of here. And we like take the door. We see a door closed. And so we open up that door. And there's like 30 kids running right at us. Like, go the other way. Go the other way. And I'm like, oh my God. And me and Jake are standing in the doorway with all these people running at us. And we're
Oh,
like, what
fuck.
the fuck? So Jake like takes me, throws me out of the way. And then we open up the next door that's to our right. Cops are waiting right there for us. Just boys in blue, waiting for us right outside of the door. Me and Jake are like stumbling out of this door, and they're like, "All right, guys, you get home safe tonight."
Oh.
And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
So for me, right? Okay, so just to add a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit more context,
Mm-hmm.
the theme of the party was
Hoes and CEOs.
hoes and CEOs.
Hoes and
So
CEOs.
dudes were showing up dressed in like suits, and these girls were dressed up as like tramps, pretty much,
pretty
like hoes.
much per usual.
So I showed up dressed up as Bruce Springsteen. No, not Bruce Springsteen.
Billy Idol.
No, fucking the Born in the
Bruce
USA.
Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen. So I'm wearing a denim sleeveless jacket, a red bandana, and short
Jorts.
short jorts, like super short jorts. I look so weird.
I'm wearing overalls.
Me too.
We're dressed
we
as
were wearing,
farmers.
yeah, me and Jake were dressed as farmers.
And JT's fucking JT.
JT's dressed as like fucking an alien.
I know. I thought he was in his frog suit, his spandex like.
Yeah.
frog
Okay.
suit.
So JT was dressed in one of those neon green head to toe bodysuits.
like morph suits.
And so he's dancing on the dance floor, and people are like, "Yeah!"
Hey, like
So-
That
so
is
they're
not,
like-
strangest
so-
crew to walk in there.
So when the shit's going down, when shit's popping off, right? We all get out on the balcony, and it's like shoulder to shoulder, and we're all trying to like squeeze through this tiny doorway. So we're running. So it's outside of this like venue area. It's all apartments where kids live. So I'm sprinting down this hallway, and I'm looking, and people are literally like banging on doors trying to let random people let them into their fucking apartment. And people are like, "Yo, let me in." So I'm fucking sprinting, right? And at some point during this, I lost you two. I went the opposite way, and I lost JT. I don't know where JT went to this day. So
Never seen
teleported. I don't even think we got the story out of JT.
I don't think we did either. He was just like,
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck he does. So I'm fucking running, and I get down to like, there's a set of stairs. It's like a in the shape of a cross almost, right? So there's 4 total stairs to go down. So I get down. So I get all the way down. I'm following these people to get down to the stairs. I get halfway down the stairs, and I hear people go, "Go back, and they're running back up. So then I run across the entire building to the other set of stairs, and the same thing happens. I'm running down. They're like, "Go, go, go!" So I'm like, "Fuck!" I was trapped like a rat. They're like, "They got us on all sides." So I go back to the original one, and I'm running down, and people are coming up again, and I'm thinking about turning around and trying one of the like a different one. And this large African-American male behind me goes, "We gotta move, buddy," and grabs me by the shoulders and picks me up and uses me as a battering ram down these stairs. He's like,
Oh, like pushing you through the crowd.
like pushing me through the crowd.
Splitting the red
And I
sea
was like-
that was these kids.
I was like just riding the wave. I was like, okay, let's fucking. So we finally get down to the bottom of the stairs, and we're in the parking lot that's like gated off. And I see kids just like the street is scattering like roaches, and there's cops all over the street. And I was like, I called Jake, and I'm like, "Where are you?" Fucking, it was a wild night.
You were far away too.
I was
You
fucking
ended up,
far.
like half a mile down the road.
I know. I had to like run to you guys.
We've ended up at some good parties.
We've had some bangers,
We've
dude.
had some good ones. Yeah, for sure.
We've lived a life that's full and traveled each and every highway. Frank Sinatra.
In
Life
Boise.
is a
Highway. So, gentlemen, we try tirelessly to come up with new games. Corbin came up with a fucking awesome game that I want to play with you two because you two are some of the funniest dudes I know. It's called the Versus game. So basically, all 4 of us are going to pick a number between 1 and 7,
Mhm.
and that number is associated with a character.
Mhm.
And so then you'll team up with the person across from you. So we'll do you two and then us. And basically, you have to argue why your character would win in a fight.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Does that make sense? So it's out of 7. So just go ahead and say a number.
I'll do 4.
Okay. Your character is Shaggy
From like Scooby Doo.
from Scooby Doo.
Oh fuck no! I'm already winning.
Oh, what the fuck?
Okay, go ahead.
I'll do 1.
Obama.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay.
So I'll do 6.
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
And I already saw the list. I don't remember the numbers though, so just hold it and look at it.
Alright.
I'll do. Who did someone say 4?
I said 4.
3.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yes. Do you know who that is?
No.
You know the film The Room where he's like, "Oh hi Mark."
Uh-uh.
Oh fuck, you guys gotta watch it. He's just like,
Fucking weird ass
Here.
guy.
Yeah, no, I feel like we need
Did
some.
you just
some
Google an
insight.
image of him?
Yeah.
You know, literally.
Fucking Papa Smurf. Are you kidding me?
So, who's on my team, Corbin?
Yeah. So it's Obama and Papa Smurf.
all right, you guys go first. While it's this guy.
Oh wow. Enough
Did
said.
not hit her.
Enough
I
said.
did not.
That guy. Yeah, you know him.
Okay, so
yeah.
are we fighting your 2 characters?
Yeah.
So
So.
no. So you two will go against each other, and then me and him will go against each
fine.
other.
Oh,
So you just gotta argue your points. So it'll be who are you again? Hey, or
Obama.
Obama versus
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
So, what is the background of this fight? Just like a fist fight?
So the two of you. So
Doesn't Papa
Okay.
Set the scene. Set the scene.
okay. So
some story.
Obama is with Bo and whatever the other fucking dog is. He's on a walk in the forest, and he hears like singing and jovialness. And he's like, "What is that?" And he pulls up on this little village of Smurfs, and Papa Smurf's like, "Oh my God, Gargamel's black or whatever now." And he's like, "You trying to throw down, old man?" And then Obama's like, "Fuck yeah." and they're gonna go into it. So what's your first move as Obama?
As Obama, well, first of all, I sick the dogs on him.
Well, no. What features does Obama have? What background does he have that would make him a good
So
fighter?
he grew up in the streets.
He grew up in the streets. He's larger than the Smurf.
Yeah, he's got big wingspan. You know.
And he's got the 2 dogs with him.
Yeah.
His hellhounds, if you
Bro,
will.
bro,
my
hold
daughters
them back.
Huh?
Well, my daughters do.
I don't know what they can. I don't know what they're gonna do. Fuck the Smurfs to death.
Seduce them.
Well, I got an army of Smurfs.
Right.
True.
And don't they have magic?
I'm pretty sure they have
Yeah,
magic.
like
Yeah.
shapeshifting.
And they're.
It's not fucking Mystique from the
Fuck,
X-Men.
You know, how does Smurfs win this one?
Gotta think. Gotta get creative
You
here.
really have to think on it. Like, think about how they always kick Gargamel's ass.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Gargamel's
kind of a dumbass.
Yeah. Fuck. Alright, here's what they're gonna do.
Right.
They're gonna tie around his legs
Mhm.
and then bring that black beast down. And then fucking Papa Smurf's just gonna stop.
He could pull an Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I'm reading the list right now, and Stuart Little was in it.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping I got Stuart Little. Stuart Little versus Papa Smurf. That'd be amazing.
That would be a
fight.
good fight. Fuck, but I don't know. I think Smurfs could win this one. Papa Smurf could take the dub over Obama.
Well, Obama brought down Osama bin Laden.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a killer card. But the Smurfs, time and time again,
Restored justice.
restored happy love songs and peace throughout the Smurf village.
Mhm.
Where do they live?
Smurfville, I think.
Come on,
Really?
Come on,
I don't know.
Jake.
So, I feel like Jake, you gotta make a better argument. I think Corbin's doing pretty. I mean, Osama's good.
No,
So
that's good. I don't know how I.
So I got this booming voice.
Mm.
So, all right, I sick my dogs
Mm-hmm.
out there. They kind of take
Start
over the
massacring
stragglers.
all.
Right. The
My
stragglers
targets are
are good.
set on Papa Smurf.
Uh-huh.
The ones that are trying to escape, the dogs will get.
Yeah.
They're set to kill.
So Obama's just fucking up all these Smurfs.
Legit, my wingspan, I can just pick up Papa Smurf and punt that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think Jake's got the dub on this
think-
one.
Yeah,
I think that's an
Obama-
unfair
Well,
advantage.
it's just out of sheer size.
Right.
Like really.
It's
I
just
don't
a
know,
size
in
advantage.
relation to a human, how big Smurfs are.
Okay,
They're like-
but how about this? What if Papa Smurf was the same size as Obama?
Oh,
That's a different.
I think
one.
Papa Smurf would clean the floor.
Have you seen this?
Probably.
Have you seen the size of fucking Papa Smurf's hands?
Oh, catch these mitts.
You
dog.
catch these mitts.
For real.
It's insane.
For real, he would just like straight up grab Obama's face and just pop it.
And just
like a fucking,
just pop it.
just like a fucking Play-Doh factory. Dog.
But what if Smurfs say? Don't they have like a?
They just say Smurf in every fucking.
Yeah,
That's
they're
Mickey
like,
Mouse.
No,
Fuck.
they're like, yeah, that's a Smurfing good time.
Yeah.
You
Really?
just got
You want
Smurf.
Smurf? My Smurf? You
Like-
Smurf whore?
Oh
Hey,
my
Smurfette.
god, you just touched
She
my
gets Smurfs on her.
Oh, you just gave me a fat Smurf.
Mm-hmm. It's just shit like that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So Shaggy versus Tommy Wiseau. Let me tell you a little something about Tommy
Oh
Wiseau.
my gosh, whatever you.
In the
have
hit-
it, you have it.
In the hit film The Room, he plays impromptu football all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing that football with his homies, right? What you don't know, and he's shredded too. What you don't know is that fucking arm is a NASA rocket. He will put a hole through Shaggy so fast.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's if you can fucking touch Shaggy. Are you kidding me? He's like 7 feet tall. Imagine that reach.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh, he has like a fucking half football field length arm, dog. Just
But he's
fucking
stoned.
clock. Yeah, okay. Motor skills might be a little low, right? He might be a little full. He's always fucking eating like a badass.
Yeah.
But also, he has a gang and a van. He's gonna pull up, pop out, slide open.
Pull up a mini.
Fucking Scooby. You know if Shaggy's on the ground, Scooby has his back. His ride or die.
This is true. However, fucking Tommy Wiseau has his sonic cheep 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 cheep. That right as the van pulls up, he's like cheep cheep cheep, and you see the sound waves just blow that shit.
Paralyzed. Breaks all the windows. Paralyzes for 5 seconds. But the cooldown takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've been playing too much Borderlands.
Oh,
So-
dude. I'm just trying to think what other skills Shaggy has. He's kind of brown pant wearing ass. I don't know, dude.
Farmer John.
Yeah.
The thing is with Shaggy, and I'm gonna give you a little help here,
Please.
is he's a cartoon character. So he's technically impervious to damage.
Damn. Okay. And also, have you seen how fast he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's like charging up, he's like Sonic. He's
He's like,
all he has to do is just truck that dude.
yeah, for real. Like, if he had that charge up, if you gave him that time,
Hey, you know what?
you know what I'm saying?
Draw.
No, okay, yeah, I know. That's,
All right.
that's what I'm saying.
Alrighty, what do we got next? Okay,
I
so
like that game.
let's where we got on time? Oh, we're good. So let's talk about
Wassail.
our youth.
How are you?
And then we have another game after that.
Sure.
So I've known Jake since I was 10 years old.
Since kindergarten.
I've known Seth since kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I bring this up because I have some funny fucking stories with the two of you. And I'm sorry, Corbin, for excluding you here. But chime in if you want and just if you have something.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Can I get a suck of that?
Yeah, anyways, guys, so we're just ripping my new vape really quick.
Hey.
We have an addiction to feed.
It's
And,
just, you know what? Don't hate if you can't relate.
Dude, that's like Jake's 5th drag off of that. He's been having a rough day.
Try to get the new engine
Yeah?
in. Uh-huh.
Damn, dude.
Look at those fingers.
Kind of dirty.
They are dirty.
So I have a story.
Wait on.
I'm gonna say one word, Seth, and you're gonna know what I'm gonna say. Nigel.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, guys.
You wanna
so,
go into it?
I'm not. It was kindergarten. We were kids. Imaginative. That's back when we had like an imagination.
No inhibitions.
Oh, exactly. Not a care in the world. And so
Right,
me,
right,
Roman, and our buddy Cole. Yeah.
Shout out Cole, bro.
Yeah, shout out my boy Cole.
I saw him in a movie theater recently.
Who we don't really talk to.
In the movie.
I haven't talked to him in years.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Anyways, though, I remember I would always watch those Animal Planet documentaries where like the guys would like get close-ups of the animals and like what was it called? Crocodile Hunter.
Crocodile Hunter.
Literally, yeah. Steve Irwin, big shout out, R.I.P.
R.I.P. bro.
And
His daughter's hot, but okay.
his daughter's hot. No, but like I remember back in the day watching that thing and that was the coolest shit. Thinking that was the coolest shit. And I remember me and Roman I think this is how it started. Me and Roman kind of talked about it, and then we were like, fuck it, let's just play it out. I was always the animal.
Yeah, you were the baboon.
I was always the fucking baboon, right? And Roman and Cole were always the cameraman.
So I was the commentator and Cole was the cameraman.
Yeah.
And I was always like, Nigel, get up on the beast. Get up on the beast.
And I'd just be like circling, like eating grass. Or
Yeah, Seth was dedicated to his role.
Dude,
He'd scratch his ass, he'd eat grass and shit.
Yeah, dude. It was kind of, yeah. And I remember when they would get really close, just for fun. I don't know why we would do this. It was like an everyday thing.
Every day, and we wouldn't. It started out was we'd be like, hey, you want to play this? And then it got to the point where it was unwarranted. We just go right into this.
Yeah, no, for real. Like it was kind of impressive.
It was pretty good.
And I remember I would just always flip my shit and beat the shit out of Cole.
He would go ape shit. He would jump on Cole, and Cole would start screaming, and he just like ripping Cole's hair out and biting him.
Making like monkey noises.
He's like,
and shit.
and Cole's like, stop. I was like, Nigel, get the shot, Nigel.
Yeah, no, and I remember like Roman pulled me off. It was so funny.
fun.
It was so funny. Yeah, no, that was like kindergarten in a nutshell.
That was the prime.
I also remember one time, I think it was in the 4th grade. We were on the play set, like on the.
I know this.
Yeah, and I remember I was high above, like up inside of the play set, and Roman was down on the ground, and he was running across, and I saw my opportune moment. And I jumped off of the playset, screamed kamikaze, and it jumped right.
No, you were like, Banzai!
Oh yeah, for real. And I straight up jumped on Roman, like from like 8 feet up in the air, and like I came down on him, and it was a hard impact.
But I would get hurt so bad, but I'd be laughing so hard.
No, and I remember like I was fairly certain I hurt Roman pretty bad,
But
because I hurt myself. I hurt myself pretty bad.
How high was? So wait, which playground?
So the
Second one, you know the small one
Yeah.
at Shadow
For
Hills.
the older kids?
Yeah.
Mhm.
for the
You know,
old-
you know where the, like not where the tall slide is, but right below that,
Yeah,
the
the
platform.
second one.
That's where Seth would jump from.
Fuck.
It was how tall was that? Like 15 feet.
It was high, dude.
It was high as fuck, and we were like 4th grade easy.
Big kids.
And I'd be like playing with Seth, and he'd disappear for a little bit. This is what I've noticed about Seth is Seth does this thing where like you'll turn your back to him for 5 seconds and he'll fucking disappear
That fucker's
and
gone.
you won't know where he is.
I can vouch.
Yeah.
When we were working at Performance
Yeah.
Bicycle in the back warehouse, just imagine like a miniature warehouse with like big ass shelves like at Home Depot,
Mm-hmm.
and like we're like opening boxes or like stacking boxes or something, and we're like talking, and I'm like blah 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 blah, and I'm like, what do you think? And I turn, and I'm like, he's gone, and at that point I drop everything. My senses are at 100%. I'm like, where is this motherfucker? And I'm looking around, and I can't find him or something. Or like you just see like a set of eyes, like 20 feet yonder.
You know, like underneath like boxes,
Just
just like in like a crack or something.
Just like
You just see like a set of I remember we used to just like dart around and peep at Jake from like tiny little spots. He'd be like looking around so confused and shit. And I'd be like up like 3 stories up, like looking down on him. He's like, "How
yeah,
the
you can like climb these shelves like a fucking monkey.
fuck?" Yeah, dude. Oh man, it
And
was so
then,
much fun.
Um,
Anyways, though, but
So that happened, and we used to play WWE at my house and all of that shit. We used to hurt each other, but like it was always like, I don't remember ever having like a bad time, even when we got horribly injured. We
I
were
got
laughing.
knocked out at your house on your birthday when we were playing WWE.
Oh my god!
I got knocked out.
So it'd be like my 10th birthday, right? And we're all like eating pizza and having fun or whatever.
I remember we drew pillowcases on pillowcases. We got a decorator on pillowcases.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was kind of
We all like signed it and
Honestly,
shit.
Roman had the best parties growing up because I remember one time we rented out a limo and went to a candy shop. And
fuck
dude,
yeah.
dude, I remember Roman would just have like the fattest parties as a kid.
It was fun as
Yeah,
fuck.
that was good.
My parents went all out, and then like once I turned like 11, they were like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
So, fucking, I don't even remember how the story goes. How you got knocked out?
I remember we were all like we laid out mattresses on the ground.
We flipped my couch over and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, we flipped the couch over and everything, and like we had the
Mhm.
entire floor laid with cushions.
Mm-hmm.
Just so like the odds of someone getting hurt were slim, but they were still very apparent.
Yeah.
And I remember like I got thrown off the couch. I think someone pulled me or like yeeted me off the couch.
Yeah.
And I just went head first and hit the hardwood, and I like completely blacked out. Like all my vision was gone, and I'm like, oh. And I remember I went into the bathroom and like things were different colors and everything. And Roman was like, what does this look like? Like, what color is this? I'm like, that looks like red, and it was like purple or whatever.
Yeah, and I was like, but it wasn't even scary. I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Roman was like, bro, that's fucked. And I remember Roman took me into his parents' room and like he was like, dude, Seth hit his head. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm really fine. I got bounced back really
Oh,
quick.
so funny. And like, both of you are gonna remember this. Do you remember the underwear thing? I don't know if you're gonna remember this. So we used to, on like special events or whenever we had a sleepover, we would strip down to our underwear. This was like white trash now that I think about it.
Late at night.
Late at night. It'd be like 12 o'clock at night. We'd strip down to our underwear and we would run around the street in front of my front yard, stand in the street light right where, like in front of our yard, there's like a manhole perfectly illuminated by a street lamp. And we would like stand there and like dance in our underwear, and then a car would come, and for however, and we like whoever could last the longest while the car drove by, while we were like in our underwear before like running off and hiding, would like win. And then we'd get like double whammies. You remember that?
Yeah,
And it would be like
cars would come
two
at once.
cars would come at once, and we're like, we're like giggling and shit.
You'd like lay down on the grass.
It was so fun.
In your
Oh my
underwear.
gosh. Tell me, okay, I've only heard about the rumors, but what about you and Jake on Halloween?
What?
What one?
No, because I heard you guys go around and like fuck around on Halloween sometimes, like back when you were younger.
Oh, we used to fucking do some delinquent shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like Halloween, we'd usually like, I don't know about Halloween so much, but like I remember when it was really hot out during the summer one time. This is one of my favorite Jake lines of all time. It was so funny.
Fuck, I remember this.
So we're throwing water balloons. This
Yep.
is so trashy. We're throwing water balloons at cars driving by on our street. Like,
on
the most
Gary
dangerous-
Wade, it's like a 35-mile-an-hour street. We're just hucking water balloons.
We're
at
hawking water
cars.
balloons at cars, and it's like donk donk. And so my neighbor comes outside and is like, and she's like, "Are you guys throwing water balloons at cars?" And we're like, "No." And she's like, "Well, I."
Water balloons.
And she goes, "Well, I can hear it." And Jake goes, "That's my abs." I remember
My abs?
me and Jake were laughing so hard. And then like later that day, the other guy who lives in that same house came over to my house and like talked to my dad, and my dad was so mad at me. But I told him that line, and he forgave me. He was laughing so hard.
Trust restored.
Trust restored.
Amongst the kingdoms.
And we used to like throw. Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it.
We used to throw.
Snowballs.
So Jake lives in a cul-de-sac, and there's a street right there that's 45 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's right
behind my
and
house.
how it works is there's a fence right there. So if that car wanted to like come and get us, they'd have to drive all the way around to the entrance of the neighborhood and then come into the cul-de-sac.
And by that point, you guys would have been.
We would have been gone.
Yeah.
And we memorized the cars that we threw them at. So like, some people were cool, some people didn't give a shit, but most people, we'd like get the snowball. I remember one time specifically. This is so funny. Your sister was outside.
Building a snowman.
I think we were pretty young because I think she was in like almost barely high school.
Mm-hmm.
So she was building a snowman in the front yard, and she was like, "You guys shouldn't be doing that." And we were like, "Boys," so we're like, "Fuck you, we know." So it was like we were throwing snowballs, and this guy is driving by, and holy shit,
Bro.
Did I almost just fall into the fucking window?
So there's no video, but there was a screen on the window, and the window was open, and Seth leaned back, and the screen just collapsed and fell to the floor outside.
Oh my god, that's like. I almost fell out the fucking window.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, guys.
That was
I
hilarious.
could have fucking just died.
You're lucky your head was right there.
Yeah, we're like 2 stories up, too.
I know.
This is
It's
bad.
dank as fuck out there.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
This whole
I'll
band.
go get that.
Just throw it through the window.
No, we can get it later.
Let's get it later.
Okay, I'll go get that.
So, anyways, to make this story shorter than I'm dragging it out,
podcast.
yeah. We're like, all right, guys, we gotta keep going here. Seth is dead. So I have the snowball ready, bro, and I see this guy, and he's going like shaking his head, like no. And I point my finger at him, and I went, yes. And I hucked it, and I nailed his window on the driver's side perfectly, like the best shot I've ever done. And he slams on the brakes for a second, and then realizes he can't get out where he's at, and so he fucking guns it. So I'm like, but I don't think Jake noticed. And so I'm just like, I tell Jake, and I'm like, we know whatever. And just as I'm telling him, I turn and I see that car just fucking hauling towards us. So it's you, me, I think it was like that kid Toby.
Yeah, there's some neighborhood kids.
Some neighborhood kids were with us. And so you guys start sprinting, but I'm wearing, because my parents were like, we have snow pants, and I go look for them, we didn't have any. I would wear like 3 layers of jeans and then like 8 windbreakers just to stay warm enough. And so I'm like the Michelin man with like clothing. So they're sprinting and I'm waddling. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm terrified because I was the one that threw it too. So I was wearing like a white jacket or whatever, and so they're gone. And I get around the corner and there's like this canal bank and it's all snow, and I know the guy's behind me, and I was like, I have one option. So at the base of the canal bed, the snow's thicker, and I ran and fucking spread eagle dove into the snow and covered myself and hid while he ran by, and I heard him go, those fucking kids. And I was completely camouflaged in this snow.
No.
I was like,
Fucking way, that is so cool.
I was like, and I laid there for so long because I didn't know if he was gone or not.
Were you like
I was like,
fighting to survive?
I was like, my breath was like melting the snow in front of me. I was like, oh god. And I got up and I came back, and I just remembered your mom was like, okay guys, no more throwing snowballs. Okay, like she was nice considering that like he pulled up to your house and was like yelling at your mom.
He was yelling at my sister.
Oh,
My
at your
was
sister.
like, I didn't do anything.
and then like cut to 2 weeks later we did it again.
Yeah. Yeah, we were assholes.
We were
I remember
shitheads.
me and Callum used to do that on the strip. So you know how like there's all those ponds, that chain of ponds that you
Mhm.
take to my house?
Mhm.
And there's like that main drag, and then you take a right, another right, another right, and you're at my house.
Right.
Mhm.
So my fence backs up to that main
Oh
drag.
yeah.
And so I remember when cars would come by, we would just pelt them with fucking snowballs. And same shit happened. This one guy stopped, got out of his car. Me and Callum jumped over my fence, ran down the block the opposite way. And this guy got out of his car and was running after us. And like we like because so I live on the opposite side of the corner from the strip, you know. So like they come around the corner, we'll hit them. So we jumped over the fence, ran around the corner, and Callum's house is on the other side of the corner. So we literally ran the corner, hopped the fence, and the guy was like, "Where the fuck did they go?" Dude, it was so good.
Dude, one more story about snowballing cars. This takes place in Hidden Springs.
Was I there? No,
No,
that
it was Leighton and Noah and I. And
Okay,
his
okay.
stepbrother Will. And
Will Smith.
and so we're at their house, and we're just throwing the snowballs at cars. Or whatever,
Yeah.
And one guy stops, slams that bitch into reverse, and he's like, right up. And so we run into the front door, and Leighton Noah's dad is pretty scary when he's mad, right? I don't think he was that mad though. I think he was kind of laughing at it. But this guy comes up the door, he's like, "You damaged my car, blah 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 blah." And Jeff, that's their dad's name. He's like, "Leighton, Noah, get down here!" And Noah locked himself in the bathroom, and everyone else is down there. And Jeff's like, "Noah, get out of there!" He's like, "I'm pooping."
Which is so funny because no one never pooped back then because he would like hold it in.
Yeah, he pooped like once every 4 days. Like it was
That's
an issue.
insane.
No, you're not. Get out of here.
That's so funny. Corbin, do you have any delinquent stories? I remember I asked you once, and you said you didn't really.
I never like threw snowballs, but I was big into like the ding dong ditching and shit.
Yeah, so were we.
Ooh.
We did that shit too.
That's where I was at.
Remember when we got pulled over?
Yeah.
By your teacher.
Yeah.
That is. I want to hear Corbin now because I'm not letting him talk. Go ahead.
I think the scariest, not scariest, but like we were ding dong ditching like this whole neighborhood, and it was fucking me. Well, this wasn't fucking. I wasn't young, but we were in high school because didn't have anything else to do.
Right.
It was me, Reed, and Ben Hemphill, and we were just fucking going around doing it. And we kept doing Jaquel's house for some reason.
Dude, I remember we used to fuck Jaquel's
Yeah,
house.
yeah, and then like her dad started like chasing us like with his dogs and shit. We were like, "Oh shit, we gotta go!"
Why Jaquel's house?
Just because.
I don't know why. I remember we used to always fucking ding on the house too.
We used to do Peanut's house too.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
We used
yeah.
to fucking his house up.
So
I remember.
There was like targets we had.
yeah,
No, for
Like, what
us.
could we do? It was like
Regan.
We could do this house. We could do this house.
Regan.
Ooh.
For us, it
I
was
don't know if I can tell that story.
Yeah, that's like
That's too soon.
yeah.
Okay, we'll wait till tell that story. We'll
Yeah.
wait another year.
I remember, like we had a ding dong ditching squad.
Yeah.
And like, and I remember like on every like Friday or Saturday, we would all meet up at Jake Walk's house. It'd be like me, Micah Woods, Isaac Sevier Grothy.
Oh, the athletes.
Jace, Jordan Godney, like all those guys. And I remember we used to like run around my entire neighborhood, fucking houses up, like straight up like ringing it like 20 times, and like we used to like leave bags of shit like on the fucking doorstep, and like all just dude, literally just awful shit. But we'd always get Haley Page.
I know. I think.
Dude,
I
does that
remember
name
those.
ring a bell?
Yes.
I-
Was
she-
really trashy.
Yeah. Anyway, so and the reason why we do it is because every time her dad would come out and try to chase us. And so I remember one night we were like 30 houses deep, and we pull up on Haley Page's, and we see cops all through the neighborhood, like on foot patrol, like looking for us, and like we were hopping backyard fences, we were like dipping and dodging through like bushes and shit. And I remember like there was a pack of like 12 of us. And we were all like going in people's backyards, like hopping over their fences and shit. And I remember we were all hiding. Everyone was so scared to hit Haley's house. Like we would be 2 blocks down, like ready to dip. And I remember Jordan. It was either Jordan or me who would always go ring the doorbell. And I remember Jordan did it one day, and I was up there with him because he's like, "Oh, you come up there with me, like I don't want to be alone." And like he just yoinks it. Like I'm talking like 13 times. Like lighten it up. We made it maybe past the driveway. Door swings open, and out comes fucking Travis, her dad, just sprinting at us with a gun.
No.
And I'm like, oh fuck. And so me and Jordan split. Right? He goes after Jordan. And I'm like, and I was like, and dude, I was freaking out. And so I called Jordan. I told him to meet up with me. We met up, and right as we met up, we see him like in this intersection, like looking around, and he sees us from far away, and we like dip, and he's still chasing after us. We meet up with the guys still coming after us. We see him down the street running, and we're like, we need to get the fuck out of here. So we did some more like fence hopping, and we finally got back to Jake Walk's house, and like he knew it was us. And I remember he came to Jake Walk's house and like yelled at us, screaming at us.
Holy shit.
And I remember like Micah, he was like piping up.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, you had a gun. What the fuck type of shit is that? all this shit, like trying to make us seem innocent for the shit that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I remember like there was like 3 cops that pulled up to the house and like giving us all the fucking talk on why we shouldn't be disturbing people at like 1 a.m. And I'm like, very aware that we were not supposed to be doing like any of this. So.
Me and Jake have so many stories. So many that we can't even
fill the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
Literally, we were just like up to no good.
I think the best story out of all the ding dong ditching ones we've ever done was when we got fucking pulled over. So
oh my god,
it was my
that's so stupid.
We'll share this story. I don't want to monopolize it, but it was our sophomore year of high school, and it was me, you, our friend Julian, who was he living in Idaho City at the time?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Julian, and then we picked up this random like Mormon kid who was way younger than us for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name?
Jordan Nielsen.
No, it wasn't.
It was Jordan Nielsen.
Oh my god.
It was Jordan?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
What the fuck, guys?
So we
He was
picked.
just like on the street.
I didn't even know him. So I didn't even know him at the time. So I'm driving in my old truck.
This pocket like perfectly fits the vape.
Oh my god. So we're driving in my old truck, and we're just like casing houses pretty much. And it's a really rich neighborhood in Eagle. So we're just like pulling up on houses in my truck, and we'd have someone run out. I'd be driving and ring the doorbell 400 times, run back to the truck. We'd wait for that person to come out. I would lay on the horn and call them like a derogatory term or something, and then we'd speed out of there
It was fun.
to the next parking lot or the next like neighborhood over. Do that, and then do a third one, and then start from the beginning again. We did that like 8 times with all these houses.
And
So we're doing this, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, guys, we've hit these houses so many times. They're gonna be patrolling the neighborhood. Let's get one more good one. So
Jordan's like, there's this one house we can do. He always chases us.
oh, I don't remember that.
And those are the best.
Those are the best.
I'm sorry.
You look
Those are
forward
the
to
best.
them.
So I remember we like got out of my truck, right? And we got on foot. And Julian's like, dude, let's hit like 4 on the same street and then book it. And I was like, no. I turned my back for 5 seconds.
Julian's
And
already
all
up there.
3 of you are hitting a different house. And Jordan Nielsen hits this person's house. So I'm like, fuck. We run back to my truck. I hop in. And like, we're going to get out of here. So I'm speeding through the neighborhood. And I see this little red car that's really familiar. And it pulls up right in front of us and stops. And the door opens. And it's my first period teacher. It was Mr. Garcia, my video teacher. And he steps out. And he's wearing like a wife beater and like shorts. And he's like waddling up to the truck. And I'm like, I remember I turned back to Jake. I was like, oh, it's my first period teacher, guys. We're cool. We're good. He swings all of my doors open, like my door, and to see who was in the back. And he's like getting a head count. And he's like, go home now. And he hops in his car. And he goes and he leaves. So I was like, oh fuck, I'm dead. He's gonna email my mom. So we get back in my truck and we're leaving. And I see there's a squad car parked at the intersection right behind. Right across the street from where all these neighborhoods are. There's 2 behind us and 1 in front of us. There's 4, and they're not even like, they're like the SUVs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm turning to go drop off Jordan, and fucking high beams go on. Fucking 2 police cars. They pull up next to us, and they're like, and then he's like, what are you boys out doing tonight? And I was like, I'm so sorry, we're just being stupid, didn't go get you. And he goes, these people thought that you were casing their houses and planning to rob them. And I was like, he's like, well, I'm going to let you guys off with a warning. So we get home and my mom's still awake. And I was like, you'll never believe, I lied to her. I was like, you'll never believe this. We were just joking around, driving around. And Julian hops out of the truck and ding dong ditches without me even knowing. And it was Mr. Garcia. And we're like, The next day my mom gets an email from him. And it's like, and the title of the email is Roman's Visit. And he just details everything that we did that night. And I got grounded for so fucking long.
Dude, I remember Mr. Garcia had a weird beef with me. Yeah, and no, dude, here's my Mr. Garcia story. There I was in math class, right?
Mhm.
We just got done taking a test, and it was about time for us to leave, but, like, on test days, it literally took up the entire period,
Mhm.
and, like, we weren't supposed to be on our phone the entire period.
Right.
And Mr. Engdahl
Was a wiener.
was a fucking weenie about phones. Like, he would straight up take it to the office, and he would
Greg
like
Ankle.
have to pay $800 to get your fucking phone back, or
Mhm.
give him some like Sumerian silver or whatever.
Sumerian silver.
And fucking I remember at the very end of my test, I was well done with my test, and I like my phone's like up on the corner of my desk, and I turn it on to see what time it was, and I was looking at it. Garcia, like through the window, peeps through while I'm doing that, opens up the door. He's like, "Hey, Engdahl, we got a cheater," and I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" I'm like, I'm looking at the time. I'm done with my test. He's like, "You're not supposed to be on your phone, buddy." He's like, "I just caught you cheating." He's like, "There's no excuse for that." I'm like, "Oh, the excuse is that I wasn't fucking cheating, you piece of shit."
Oh my
and like
God.
literally, I got into like a scream fight with him, and I remember that every single time I saw him after that, it was so awkward and so weird.
I remember you were at my graduation party and he was there.
Yeah, no,
It
and
was
we talked about it. We
so
talked about it at
weird,
the
dude.
graduation party.
So
I
awkward.
remember he brought it up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember I caught you cheating that one time." I'm like, "Fuck you, dude! I wasn't even cheating,
Yeah.
you piece of shit."
That was so
He's so
funny.
convinced that he was doing such good by like
Fuck these teachers.
fucking me over, and I got a 0 on that test.
Fuck.
I know.
Engdahl's a weird teacher.
Engdahl
he was.
was not a good teacher.
What you got?
Wiener water soup? Okay.
Wiener
So, gentlemen, this is how we're going to end the show today. We haven't done this since the first episode because I didn't even know this thing was made, but it's so interesting. I went through this, and there's some good shit. So, basically, Sydney, we call her intern Sydney here. So, she put a bunch of random shit, like words, phrases, all that stuff, to start us off with a final topic in this book. So, I'm going to have one of you fuckers just pick a random card in this book, and whatever it says on there, we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
Little fucker.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Shits.
So just go ahead and just open up to a fucking card and
Why your asshole's wet?
So, why is your asshole wet?
here. I'm gonna mark that so we don't do that one again.
So I think that
Does so this is a weird one because
There's
if
Mm.
she was really banking on everyone having a wet asshole, if she was the only one with a wet asshole,
well, every
Not
hole,
everyone's
every orifice in your body is every hole in your body is wetter than like the
Your
top of your
skin.
skin.
Yeah.
scientifically speaking why it's wet because it's probably humid in there maybe.
Yeah, I mean, bro, how many times have I know for a fact Jake has the worst
We're swamp ass.
Dude,
and that is just a fact.
That's
That
just
is
a
just a
fact.
fact.
it's
just a fact.
unpreventable. I've tried, but damn,
There's
like,
no cure.
My first truck had no air conditioning. That was the death of me.
Yeah.
Bro,
I was
haven't had a-
baking, sweating.
I don't think I've had a single vehicle that's ever had air conditioning.
Really, that sucks.
That's ever wait.
Oh, and the
Ranger.
Ranger had air conditioning. The
Yeah,
Subaru
that
did not. The Subaru does not either.
Oh
The Bug
man.
had air conditioning.
Yeah, no, I had the Subaru air conditioning worked for maybe 3 days, and then it went to shit.
My
So-
second truck, the only way to set it to air conditioning, because I had it on heat, the only way to set it to AC, you had to like reach under the dashboard because it was like mechanically actuated and like fucking pull these cables and do this fucking witch dance. This is bullshit.
It's like my windows.
I
Remember
kind
my
of
windows didn't work?
want to try another one. That was
Yeah,
kinda-
yeah.
What?
Alright.
You mind if I
That's
pick
another one.
one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so
Pick a winner.
your butthole's wet because that you're human, and that's just that's just
I remember when I was in like elementary school, we'd go to Gerber Park and I'd wear boxer shorts and I'd get my ass all sweaty and would go up in my ass crack.
Okay, ready?
That's just
Ready?
the story right
Just
there.
like
That's
that.
it. That's it.
I just wanted to say that.
You're dating a girl and she has 2 buttholes and no vagina. What the fuck's up with buttholes?
Dude, I'm loving
Okay,
it
2
though.
buttholes, no vagina.
Here.
What do you do? Do you confront her about it? Go.
So okay, so this is what, so she's like, hey, so you know, you've been dating for maybe a month, right? She's like, I want to be intimate with you, right? But she's like, I have something to tell you. I have 2 buttholes, but I don't have a vagina.
I would laugh first of all. You're
Good
kidding.
one.
She shows you.
Okay,
Uh,
side by
Yeah, yeah,
side
yeah,
or
they-
like
they-
So
like there's a
there's a
butthole
traditional.
where it
There's
should
the
be.
traditional butthole,
your normal butt.
and then where the vagina, where the
So it's butthole, gooch, butthole.
so it's butthole, and then at the base of where the vagina usually starts. So right here above right below the mons pubis.
Fuck off.
Okay.
God damn it, Mr. Clycott.
Is a butthole.
That's secondary butthole.
Right.
Okay.
So I see it. I'm in shock. However, if I'm asking questions, right, the first thing I'm saying is, do they both serve the same function?
Absolutely. But what's the answer?
So if it's yes, then I'm asking, is it okay, milady, if we use it?
No, but what if she's like, but I don't want to do anal?
Then I'm like, then why? What do you mean intimate? What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, no, for real. Oh my
And
god.
then-
I don't like anal.
Dude,
What do you
oh
like?
my gosh, that would be such a weird. I really don't. I think it would be so weird, and I wouldn't be able to overcome it. That I probably wouldn't be able to continue with.
Yeah,
it.
imagine like you're with your friends, right? And you're with your girl, and
Mhm.
and hours before you find out she has 2 buttholes, no vagina, and she's like all on you, cuddling, and you're just with your friends, and you're just like, just like the mile long stare.
Yeah,
What if
for
she
real.
farts?
I think we
Like,
should.
she has to
I think we
fart?
should do one more.
Wait, if she farts, is it considered a queef or a fart?
Oof.
Oh.
Also, does she choose what hole it comes out when
Yeah,
she
yeah,
shits?
yeah. Oh my god.
Or does she? Or she's like, oh, it's coming out of the front. She just like planks on the toilet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She just stands
So many
straight
good
up when she's
questions.
pissing.
Anyways, I think we need to do one more.
Okay, one more. Let's
Hopefully it doesn't consist of.
Yeah.
Actually, I hope it does.
you know what? Let's get another butthole question in here. Oh, so I just realized that there's orange ones on the back and like pink ones on the. I think right. Isn't that how it works?
Damn. She
Oh,
was
she
wrong.
fucking went all out.
What's this? Hentai.
That's not a tentacle.
I don't.
Okay, guys, let's just be honest. Let's just lay down the law.
Mhm.
Have you ever
Seen it?
a hentai video?
Yes.
Oh, not a video, but really
I have. I'm not gonna lie.
Jake's
I
like-
stumbled across it.
all the time.
I
So
stumbled
I have a
across it.
funny story.
Okay.
So there's this T-shirt shop down off of. I think it's. You know where Compost Market is?
Yeah.
It's like right across the street from there. There's this custom T-shirt shop. You go in, you pick a design, and he prints it on a shirt, and you buy it.
Okay.
So me and my mom go in there, and I'm getting this shirt, and he's like, getting the design already, and we're standing in this like area of the shop, and there's a sticker on the wall of a design he made. My mom goes, "Oh, I like that design. It's kind of like anime." And I look closer, and it's a little Japanese girl getting absolutely tarnished by a tentacle creature. Like you see, like her vagina is expanding beyond human limits.
No, yeah, that's
And-
that.
And there's like 2 in her mouth, and she's like, my mom goes, "Oh my god!"
That's disgusting.
And the guy goes,
dude, like I don't get the appeal. I don't get
Yeah,
the
it's
appeal
weird.
at
I don't
all.
either.
Fuck.
It's way too extreme for me.
you know what? I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be controversial, but
Okay.
I think it's pretty funny. What the fuck did we do to Japan, dude?
Dude, no, for real. Like, what incited this? Like, they're like, oh man, let's have Godzilla fuck a little anime bitch.
Yeah,
it's like what?
It's crazy because it's like before it was almost like such like a formal, respectful empire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Yeah, no. It was like an art form, like
Uh-huh.
like anime. Like I like anime.
Mm.
Like there's
That good
like
shit.
how Miyazaki movies. like how Miyazaki
Miyazaki
movies.
is
Pokemon.
fucking good.
Pokemon.
Shut up.
No,
That's
but
what it's
like.
I know what you're talking about.
Dude, all those are so good,
Mhm.
and like just the way that they're made and
The
everything
art,
is
the
just
quality,
awesome.
yeah.
It's just so cool and so pretty, like his backgrounds and
Mhm.
everything. But then when it escalates to something like that, it's just like,
And it's
damn.
It's
So-
always like big ass things, fucking like tiny. little-
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always
It's kinda
like
weird.
huge.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
okay, so my parents lived in Japan for 2 years.
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? They taught English to business people in Japan.
That's
So-
pretty dope.
English.
So they
English.
So- Ingrid. Oh, so the
Get your mom.
she wants to come on so badly, dude. I probably will at some point. I'll probably give in. So here's the thing. You can buy panties out of vending machines and then give a backstory behind whose panties they are. It's probably not real.
What?
Isn't that crazy? Fucking everyone there is so tiny compared to Americans. Like they're so short on average. They're like barely 5 feet, bro. They're
Really?
so short. They're like
No
five. They're like
fucking
5'3", 5'4".
Maybe they all just want to get fucked by giant octopus.
So that's why I think the thing is like they make these big grandiose fucking things because that's so out of their realm of like what they know because everything is so tiny. Like my mom is like, she's like average height for a woman. So how tall is that? Like 5?
I think average height for a woman's 5'6".
Yeah, she's like 5'7" maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's shorter now because she's gotten older. But like, and my dad's 5'11". Not he's like their average height.
Yeah.
And apparently when they were there, they were fucking giants. And people would be like, oh. You know?
I don't know though. Hentai is weird. I'm not about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking.
That thing.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a giant octopus.
For our viewers at home, there's a giant octopus
It's on the wall. Fucking. But and I also think the tentacle thing derives from the fact that they're a fucking. They're like
An
island.
Yeah, no, they eat like live octopuses
Yeah,
and
shit.
like
They're into
spit and
that.
shit.
Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, this is like
That
my
sounds good.
cock, but
They
hotter.
do it for the culture.
Like, look at all the look at what do you call those?
Tentacles.
No, the things on
Suction
them.
cups.
Yeah, the suction cups. So many ridges, and they can like expand and shit.
Oh wow.
I'm sure that's exactly what.
That's
goes
exactly what's going on through their
their
head
heart.
when they're making these hentai.
That's what's going through my head when I make it.
Yeah,
What?
I saw some other really good ones in here though.
You want to do one more? We have a good amount of time.
Yeah.
This is
How
another
long
long.
have we been going?
It's an hour and 20. So the past like 4 episodes we've been going an hour and 30, and the goal's 1 hour. But they're so fun.
We've been going for an hour 20.
So,
All right.
So, guys,
Actually, I want to talk about this because it's so funny.
So the card is Roman's love life.
So here's the thing. I think that everyone should be made fun of like 5 times a day. It'll give you humility. You need to learn to laugh at yourself.
keep it humble.
And you need to laugh at things that are hard for you initially. So like when I hit the fucking school bus, I was traumatized, but I started to joke about it, and now it's just kind of like a funny like, oh, what a dumbass, he hit the school bus. So I'll make this a quick one. I've had a lot of girlfriends in my day,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that
Nice.
50% of them have been just travesties.
yeah.
I've dated some really cool people and some not so cool people. I don't know what stories I want to tell because I know my mom listens to this podcast,
Yeah.
and
no,
I don't want to
yeah,
be
yeah,
I don't want to be
yeah.
inhibited. Okay, I'll say this right now, Mom. If you are listening, I'm about to tell a story that is sexually explicit, and I don't want you to hear it. So skip to the end. So this is the one story about my love life I'm going to tell. So I was a sophomore in high school. It was my last day of school, and there was this girl who had just transferred over. She was a friend of a friend, and she was just this like super. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. She was a really hot African American woman,
Mm-hmm.
like super hot.
Yeah.
And so I remember one day we were hanging out at her like house, her abode, and things got heated, and there was some mouth to wiener contact. We'll say.
Yeah. Okay. Mouth community contact.
And that was the first sexual experience I'd ever had. I was
Fellatio.
yeah, I was 16 years old. You know, when you're 16, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's like holy fuck.
you're like, oh my god.
It's like we really made it. I could die a man now.
I was like, oh, I literally, no, I'm not even kidding. When that happened, I went, so I can literally have sex with whoever I want now because of this. I thought that that somehow it like unlocked a secret key in me that would allow that.
Dude.
So then, you know, as young people do, for the next like few times we met up, we would do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one time, we I run errands with her. This is when I was about to work for the school district,
Okay.
and I was getting all my paperwork done, and I was like, hey, let's go back to my house, and no one was home because it was during the summer. So we go back to my house, and you know we're like fooling around or whatever, and I bust out the condom, and I was like, hey, you know, if you're not ready, that's fine, but I was wondering if you want to, you know, do this, and she's like, oh, I'm not ready yet, but we can pretend. And I was like, and I just like tossed the condom over my shoulder, and I was like, okay. So, cut to me dry humping for 30 minutes
No.
in multiple ways, like
Oh,
positions.
shit. Okay. Not even as like foreplay. Not even
I know-
like to get in the mood. Just for like.
Oh no, this was like
Fuck it.
a what if scenario, and then and you know you've been to my room. My room has no ventilation. It's always like 150 degrees in my
So it
room.
was like a steam.
And the
room.
So-
walls are painted mustard yellow.
And the walls are mustard yellow. And at the time, my mattress was on the floor. So this was like trailer park trash that was going on in here. And I was so sweaty and stinky by the end of it. I was just like, stop. And then we ended up breaking up shortly after that because that's just an uncomfortable situation. But I think I learned a lot from that. I learned to be a man.
Okay.
But I've had a lot of good love life situations. I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I'm a really fucking weird individual. I'm very strange. And I just haven't found a person yet who can handle it.
Or who's just on the same level.
Who's on the same level.
I mean, but hey, Evan found his lane.
Yeah.
Evan, our good friend Evan, found a lady who's very cute.
And listen, Evan's the type of guy that, like, if you'd be like, hey, go shit on that,
Yeah.
like, in public, he would
He would
drop
I
the
remember.
trout and shit all over it.
I remember we used to be like, Evan, go shit in the road, so that a car would run over it.
Yeah.
It was 2:00 in the morning. Evan, go shit over there, and we'd look where the tire tracks were on our road. He'd take the fattest shit you've ever seen.
And Evan's talented. Anything on wheels, like, he'll just shred it,
Uh-huh.
dude.
But I've
Skis, he's a god at skis.
the best shit I've ever seen that man produce.
Was it the porta potty?
That's another
Usury, the orange.
one. No, that's another one. But when he climbs onto the basketball
Oh
hoop,
my
at
god!
River
Oh!
Glen, climbs onto the basketball hoop, sits with his butthole over the rim, and takes a shit, and it lands right where the hoop connects to the backboard. A big steaming poop right there.
It was there for so long too.
The kids the next day must have like the next week or whatever must have been playing ball and like
They all got.
oh there's
So-
shit on the ball.
There's some great Evan stories at River Glen just
They
alone.
all got pink eye.
So I have 3 different quick ones. One time Evan shit in the urinal part of a porta potty and it was neon green.
Neon orange at Usury.
And then another time Evan shit in the concrete part where the sand pit is where you stand to do
Yep,
shot put.
yep.
He shit right there and we put 3 firecrackers
Yep,
in it.
and it exploded.
And it exploded and a
Got
piece
on
of
Michael.
shit landed on this kid Michael's shirt. And then the third time took place in 7th grade, which was 7 years ago.
No.
No way.
Had to have been.
3rd grade?
7th grade was 7 years ago, dude.
No.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
God damn.
Holy.
Yeah.
Evan made a monster spitball.
Hold on, I feel old as fuck right now.
I know, huh?
Real quick, I need a second.
Yeah, that's crazy,
That kind
huh?
of hurts.
Yeah, we were 13, dude.
Because I remember that was so much fun back then.
Oh, I know, dude.
Anyways.
We were fucking around. We didn't give a shit.
Carry on.
Evan shot a spitball at the wall outside during like our break after lunch, and it's there to this day.
Yep.
I remember that.
Big ass.
Big ass spitball, and I don't think it could come off even if someone tried.
That's disgusting.
He was gross, and I remember the time after he shit in the road, we hung out with him the next day, and I was like, "Did you ever wipe your ass?" And he's like, "I still haven't." And I was like,
No, yeah, there's just so many questions
Oh
and
my
flags to be raised.
Now that we start talking about shit, I'm like, damn, I got another good story.
"Oh, is it
Like when you. Okay, so.
okay? Yeah, you could. You know what, dude? No holds barred on this podcast."
Yeah, no, fuck this shit.
All right.
Alright, so. What grade were we in? Maybe 9th grade or some shit.
Yeah, we
10th
were
grade.
pretty young.
We're at River Glen Junior High School. We find some poor kid's lunchbox.
Just
left
sitting
overnight. It's late at night. It's pretty late. We find this fucker's lunchbox, right?
God
And
damn
like,
it.
of all the things we could do with this lunchbox, we turn it to lost and found, use it, utilize it.
No, we weren't. We must have been in high school because we didn't go to River Glen at the time.
Okay, so like sophomore year.
Yeah.
So, what we decide to do is put poop in the lunchbox and throw it at our old gym teacher's door.
Yeah, because he lived right around the corner from us.
Yeah. So, yeah. What did you do? Just take a shit?
So
in
here's the thing,
lunchbox?
right? So we're like, let's get dog shit, but I had picked it up all that day.
Oh yeah.
So I told my brother, the thing is, my brother always likes hanging out with the older kids, even now. Like he's in high school now, but it's really cool to hang out with the older kids because it's like your older brother and all of his friends. It's kind of fun. So he would do anything, and I knew this at the time. I was playing to his weaknesses. I was like, Dre, take a shit in this lunchbox, and then we'll shake it up with all the ice and everything, and dump it on the doorstep of our old PE teacher. I'm not even gonna say his name because if somehow he gets a hold of this, it's bad news. So he tries. He's like, I can't. So I'm like, I know it must be done. I put it on the edge of my bathtub and squat over it like a toilet, and I just relinquish all like just bounties of man into that lunchbox a lot. I zip it up and you went to go grab something from your house. So I zip up this lunchbox, and I start shaking it like crazy. And I throw it up in the air, and it fucking smashes, and you hear like glass shattering, and it was the ice inside of the ice pack. And so it's like, now it's liquid shit because the ice is melted. And I open it up, and it's the worst smell of all mankind. And so who are we with that had... Anyway, so I was in my truck, and I had some kid in the bed of my truck. This is so trashy. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna... I think it was Evan, maybe. I was like, we're gonna have you jump out of the bed and just dump it on his front doorstep. That way he has to clean it by hand. Or like with a hose or something. So... he jumps out and he dumps it, right?
Oh my god.
And then he rings the doorbell like 80 times, jumps in my truck, and we speed out of there. Never heard another thing about it. And that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
That's
But
insane.
Shit.
it was so it was such a delinquent thing to do.
It's just like, why the fuck do we have to like involve shit?
I don't know. The thing is, like,
human instincts.
I think that if there was an identical group of men right here that were girls, it would have never happened.
Never.
But because I don't know what it is, it's just because of our fucking chromosomes. We're like, let's shit on things.
Our upbringing.
Our upbringing.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Because I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever been the one to like drop trow and drop a dude.
That's the only time I've ever done it, isn't it?
But Evan,
No,
Evan has
the
countless-
pumpkin.
You shit in a pumpkin?
Same teacher.
Same
No!
teacher. This was I shit. I opened up the top of a pumpkin from Halloween, and I don't know if I actually shit in it. I think we put dog shit in it. And then we closed it, and we had this kid run up and smash it on the front doorstep. We were like so far away, and it was so loud, and we heard it. And we just see this kid running. He was one of my brother's friends. He's like, run!
Oh my gosh.
All right, gentlemen.
Fuck.
Corbin, let's finish her out here.
Outer.
Let's get that outro.
Well, that does it for episode 7.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Room202 Podcast, and email us at Room202PC for just if you want to be a guest or any questions, shit like that.
I will gladly answer questions.
Yeah,
with
answer.
this podcast.
Mhm.
Send us questions like, why is Seth not with his tribe?
Yeah, why what separated me with my tribe?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
I'd like to thank little Jakey,
Mm-hmm.
and Seth
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having
for
me
having
on.
us.
Yeah.
This has been a pleasure. It's technically our first twofer, and I think it went great.
I
I loved hearing your stories.
yeah, no, I was looking forward to it. I knew that we would have some
Some
juicy
greatness,
deeds
some
to kind
juicy
of spill
deeds.
the beans.
Do you guys have anything you want to plug real quick?
Maybe
Maybe like an Insta or something?
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
my Instagram Seth.gamerich.4. If you want to contact me, that's a good way to do it.
Hit me up at Jagamuffin.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Add me on Xbox at Dancing Turkey Land.
Yeah.
I got crazy 1999 PSN account.
At Truthful Movie 74.
Hey, bro, we don't talk about that.
Hey, don't. All right, everybody. Episode 7. We don't even have a guest for episode 8, so that'll be a surprise for everyone involved. Can't wait to see what we do there. And
Some ideas.
yeah, that's it for episode 7 of Room 202. I'm Roman Bolin.
I'm Corbin Johnson.
We'll see you next time.
When you're bored and have nothing to do,